Let's talk about it, Cowboys Nation. We are less than a week away from the Cowboys' first preseason game versus the Rams. And man, don't we have some exciting things to talk about? The Cowboys this week will have joint practices with the Rams leading up to the preseason game. So we'll be on the lookout on how the Cowboys look versus competition. I think the big thing I'll be on the lookout for is how our tackles hold up against a Jared Verse. We know last year he gave Tyler Guyton fits and kind of showed us that there were some issues with our left tackle that we never really addressed during the season. But now we have Nate Thomas, who's in there, who is a strong guy. But I want to see how him and Awesome Richards hold up against a top tier pass rusher in the NFL when we go against that. And in general, that Rams front in general is nothing to sneeze at. So our O line will definitely be put to the test, which is good to see early how good they really are. Another thing I'll be on the lookout for is how Shoddy's offense looks. I know the offense, especially, will be more vanilla in the preseason, but I want to see how the Cowboys' new look offense will look versus other teams. We will see more of the motion, the crossing routes, the more modernized run schemes, the run plays that actually set up the play action plays, and all that we've all been begging as Cowboys fans for years for the Cowboys to finally implement. And not only that, but who is going to emerge as a viable option? I don't think the Cowboys will have CD or Pickens out there playing much, but I know for a fact guys like Holden, Tolbert, Mingo, Flournoy will get plenty of opportunities to not only make this team, but solidify themselves as a third option. The Cowboys, I felt for the longest, haven't had a real scheme tailored to their guys' skill sets. And not only that, we had that sorry Texas Coast offense. It wasn't designed to really throw the ball deep. It's just a lot of quick, short plays. You had to be super accurate because teams already knew you're going to throw the ball quick and there's going to be little to no motion. So you could really start getting a beat on where the ball was going, especially if you followed or you doubled CeeDee Lamb. But now we're going to see more deep shots, more design runs. And for me, what I'm looking for is what guy wants it more. I want wide receivers that are out blocking like their life depends on it. That that will hopefully, and no, not hopefully, it will help open up big runs in the run game, especially if you can set that edge as a wide receiver. You get one on one with that safety, make a miss, take it to the house. I want wide receivers that fight through contact to get the football. I want wide receivers that want to snatch their positions and try to even elevate higher so that the Cowboys have more and more weapons. I also want to see how the run game looks. We have a bunch of investment in the O line, and I want to see how the new run scheme looks and if we're actually getting the push and getting up to the second level to get those linebackers so that the run game can do a lot of damage and really help Dak Prescott in the long run. Jaydon Blue will be on my radar out of all the backs because if he can be similar, if not better than Tony Pollard in this scheme, man, that and then we actually use him as that wide receiver option in the backfield. I'm telling you, man, this offense will be scary. I know Joe Milton and Will Greer will be the main guys leading the offense in the preseason, but I want to see what things look like when we throw the ball deep and how we're setting up those throws. And even more so, we can see how Shoddy calls plays. And even if he doesn't call plays, we'll see how Klayton Adams' offensive philosophy is and how um, that translate to getting yards. So I'm very excited to see how things will look offensively. So now, how about the defense? We all know what teams are going to do against the Cowboys early and often, and that's run the ball at them. I need to see first and foremost if it's the beginning of the end for Mazi Smith. I personally think it is, but I need to see it on film to confirm. If he's getting washed or getting walked back early and often, then I have my answer. Or if I see guys like Perion Winfrey or Solomon Thomas getting more reps, then for sure I know it's over for Mozzie. I got to see how this run defense looks because all the reports keep saying the Cowboys defense looks good. Funny part about that is I remember them saying that last year, and guess what? We looked good defensively because the offense was bad. I don't think that's the case this year, but we need to see how our depth guys look. I have my eyes on a Jack Sanborn, a Kenneth Murray, a Shamar James at linebacker. I have no qualms for Leofau. I think he's going to be good, so I'm not too worried about that. I want to see Elam at cornerback, along with the other guys that we have in the cornerback room, because we have Diggs, we have what's his name, uh, Revel on injured reserve. So I want to see what our depth looks like realistically. And also, I want to know what Cowboys are going to be doing at safety. Is Donovan Wilson going to be the starter, or is Matt Eberflus going to let guys like Wanye Thomas or a Marquise Bell get that opportunity? But the guys I'll be watching, the guy, the guy I'll be watching the most is Donovan Ezeiruaku. I think he's has the potential to set the NFL on fire, and I can't wait to see him wreak havoc on offensive lines. And I want to see what's going to be the game plan when he's in the game. Are teams going to just target him in the run game to kind of wear him down? Or will they say, I dare you to beat our guys one on one with no chip blocks? I want you to beat our tackles. We got this. Either way, I think he's going to be scary to watch and will add, and will he's going to be up there pass rush wise, especially when we get Micah's contract situation resolved. Man, I can't wait to see Donovan Ezeiruaku and Micah playing together side by well on each side of each other. But hey, if you want to put those guys side by side in a nickel package, or how they would do that double A gap blitz with those guys in the middle, boy, you go see something scary. I promise that. So finally, Cowboys Nation, we have way too early cut candidates as well as our last topic to discuss. And I think a guy that might surprise everyone that could get cut is it Tolbert. For what I've been hearing and seeing from reports and practice, realistically, if I'm just being honest, if this was any other team but the Dallas Cowboys, Tolbert wouldn't make this roster. I personally don't think he's better than a Flournoy, a Holden, a Mingo, or a Turpin, obviously. And I doubt anyone would sign him if he is released. But I think the Cowboys will find a way to keep him on the roster. And because he has a relationship with Dak, he will get an opportunity to be that third option. That's how the Cowboys do things. It is what it is. I'm not saying that Tolbert isn't a good player, but he has sponsors, as in the Cowboys believe that because he's a nice guy and he can play pretty well, and then they drafted him high, that they think he can be that guy. They can say, oh, but he had 1,000 yards. Well, I don't know if he got 1,000 yards last year, but oh, he played. He was the outside CeeDee Lamb was the only other option that got yardage. Well, based on how Mike McCarthy called plays, who else are y'all going to throw to? Again, but we'll see. That again, don't be surprised if something like that happens where Tolbert gets cut and then the Cowboys kind of just put him on the practice squad. But I doubt that will happen. But don't be surprised. Another surprising cut candidate could be a Schoonmaker, just because for the value you're getting for what he does is just so low. Finding big tight ends that can block in the run game is easy to find. He can easily be replaced by a Spanford, and Spanford can do more athletically. But again, the Cowboys are one of those teams that will keep a guy forever and just cut him out of nowhere when he has literally no value. Like, for example, a Matt Walesko. And finally, I think the last surprising cut candidate will be a Donovan Wilson. I think the other safeties, including the undrafted guy from Syracuse, will show more promise, and the Cowboys will finally say it's time to move on and get guys that can cover, not just headhunt in the run game. So, again, we don't know till they actually cut the guys, cut it down and trim down the roster, but those are just some of the options I think. Do not be surprised if the Cowboys actually go ahead and cut some of these guys. So, Cowboys Nation, we have a lot to look forward to with the joint practice with the Rams, along with the first preseason game. Micah's contract situation will continue to be a distraction, but don't let it get to you because the Cowboys will eventually sign him. They're just going to keep dragging it out and dragging it out for views. That's what they do. I get it. It's annoying, but they'll still sign him in the end. This is the time to stay focused on thoroughly evaluating this team so we can build the best roster in order to compete. Don't be distracted. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video so I can keep giving you guys this real sports talk on the Dallas Cowboys. My name is Meccha Mike, and for all the socials, that is MECCHA Mike, and I'm out.